Let's talk about graphic novels. I went kind of crazy at this store called Big Brother Comics. It's in Sacramento. They literally have the best graphic novel comic selection of any store that I've ever seen. Whenever I look for graphic novels, I'm looking for something that is like hand-drawn, has an analog feel, like I can see the texture of the pencil or the paint. So I haven't read any of these books yet. I just want to talk about what drew me to them. Let's start with this one, 365 Days by Julie Doucette. Literally all of these books except for one are published by Drawn and Quarterly. It's cool because this artist was one of the first to work with them. They published her comic series called Dirty Plot, which is an autobiographical comic about being a woman and being a part of underground comics. This one is also autobiographical. It's her diary. There's just something about it that makes me feel so inspired, like, let me start recording my life like this. The back says, "This is a private diary, 365 days, a little bit more actually, in the year around the clock, from November 2002 to November 2003. See how I had to like turn the book to read it? It's written in these little cutout pieces of paper. When you open it up, it has more nice collaged letters. Something that I love is a mixture of collage and drawing. I just think it looks so good. And there's a lot of that in this book. I also love it when comics use panels in like a really unique way. Like there are no clear boxes or lines. They're not even in like squares. She just sections off the different panels with like really interesting visual elements. Next we have The Native Trees of Canada. This is by Leanne Shapton, my favorite. Just look how stunning this book is. The first few pages has this description of the book, which I think is just helpful in understanding what it is. It says, "This book owes a great debt to one I purchased from a Toronto bookstore in December 2009. It was titled Native Trees of Canada, Bulletin number 61. But basically, I love that she was inspired by another old book because I also get so inspired by old books. There's just something so special about them. And it has raw edges, which is something that I normally dislike, but I think it works so well with the theme and just the way it's done on this paper. I actually really like it. Flipping through the paintings in this book, it just feels like love. Like you can feel her love of Canada, her home. The colors are amazing. The textures are amazing. Everything she does is inspiring. If you don't know Leanne Shapton, I would check out some of her other work. I think her most popular book is called Swimming Studies. And then I also really like Women in Clothes, which is like a collaborative book. It just explores women and their clothes and it documents everything in a very beautifully written way, and also with photographs and illustrations, which is what I love so much about her work, the way that she combines text and image. Like, look at this page. This next one is called Map of My Heart by John Porcellino. The title kind of caught my attention on this one because I love maps, and the map of my heart just sounds like it's gonna be something sentimental. There's a really cute map drawn on the inside cover, but then also flipping through the pages, I like the simplicity of the drawings. Map of My Heart is the best of King Cat comics and stories from 1996 to 2002, and King Cat comics are John's self-published comic series that have been running since 1989. His dedication to this series is just so inspiring, and this is another book that makes me really want to start doing diary comics. He's just able to record such like mundane, interesting moments that you might forget about, but then when you read them, it's like relatable. Next up, Processing by Tara Booth. I love Tara Booth. I've been following her on Instagram for a really long time. This book is everything that I want in a graphic novel. It says 100 comics that got me through it. Another Drawn and Quarterly publication. I just love her colors, textures, patterns. Her patterns are so good. I want comics to be paintings, and that's what this is. She's another artist that does really creative panels. Some of them are like full page bleed, while others have a lot of white space. Like there are pages like this that's just full on painting, and I love that. I also really love the way that Tara draws herself. It just feels like she's having so much fun, and also like it's something that she has to do. Like you can feel the need to create this art. It just makes me feel unafraid to draw myself in comics. And then Becoming Horses by Disa Wallander. I was so attracted to this cover because it's literally sparkly. Then when I opened it up, I was like, immediately, I need this book. I need this book. The whole idea of Becoming Horses, I love that. She's doing everything I want. Hand-drawn, hand-painted, mixed media in a comic. Look at that. But it gets even crazier. She includes photo collage kind of with these crazy abstract objects. The characters are just like floating in this mystical space the whole time. Let me read you the little blurb on the back because you'll see why I wanted this book. Was it always like this? What if your self-portrait was a collection of weird shapes? Have you ever felt like an abstract painting? Do you ever simultaneously wish and worry that the boundaries of your body will melt away and you'll become a magnificent horse? Becoming Horses is a book about squinting hard and looking from the right angle to find that everything around you sparkles, just a little, and the shapes of things are not firm but fuzzy. The you know may shift and take form as a beautiful horse, a sunset, or something so special, so huge that you could never describe it. That's what I'm looking for in a graphic novel. It just makes me feel happy about life. I love these like glittery, whimsical pages. Just so experimental. And I love the way that this artist draws people, which is something always important to me, like in all of these books. I like how they draw people. Like, I don't really want anything too realistic, except for this next one, Johnny Appleseed. Much different vibe, very like polished drawings. This one is actually published by Fantagraphics. It's by Paul Bewley and Noah Van Sciver. When I saw the title of this book, I was like, Johnny Appleseed. I don't know, I feel like Johnny Appleseed is kind of like a mystical, historical figure that you learn about in elementary school and then never hear about him again. Like, I have a vague memory of going to his house on a field trip. I don't know if that was true, if we went to like some other old house on a field trip. But he's an interesting guy, so I was like, this sounds like a story that I would like to read. Another thing that really appeals to me about this book is all the framing, like the little apple frame, the back, and then when you open it up, stunning picture. I do love pen drawings. Look at all the values and texture in there. I haven't read this book yet, but from my understanding, it seems like it's supposed to be a realistic telling of what American life was like throughout his lifetime from 1774 to 1845. Then we have some Linda Berry books. These were gifts from my boyfriend because they've been on my wish list for a while and he got them for me. So I really wanted these books because they're like art lessons from Linda Berry, the icon. This one is art lessons, this one is writing lessons, and she's like the queen of both. But I love how these books are both like teachings, prompts, and also inspiration because the pages are so stunning. Like, can you believe that's an art lesson? Then a little bonus book, Shaker Design. Not a graphic novel, but I got this book at the same time as all the other ones, and it's a really cute story. My boyfriend got this for me at our local used bookstore. We sold a few of my grandpa's old books there. This was one of them. And then my boyfriend bought it for me because he said something about it just like called to him, like he thought I should have it. And I'm so happy to have it back because it actually has a chair in here that my grandpa made. He made like a replica of this one. This chair is from 1860 and it's at the Met. I think that when I got rid of this book, we hadn't found that chair yet. Now I have that chair in my studio. Let me know which one of those books was your favorite, or give me some graphic novel recommendations. And thank you for just hanging out with me and talking about graphic novels. I'll see you next time. Bye.